Hello again, Gundam Converge fans. I picked up 3 of these loose bad bosses or whatever you consider in the Gundam universe. So we're going to go over these starting with this guy here. We're going in chronological time. I'm learning a lot based off of Gundam fandom. The nice thing about fandom is if you do an internet search for just Gundam Zeong, that's the very first search result, Gundam fandom. And this website just has all the stats. So this appeared, I believe, in the first cartoon series, the anime Mobile Suit Gundam. And the main bad guy is Char Aznable. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, of course. And basically, for this guy, it's just a giant, overpowering Gundam. And it was never completed, so it doesn't actually have legs. It just has thrusters down there. And it has beam cannons in each of its fingers. And then these are also remote controlled. So there's a system here called the Psycommu system, and that allowed new type pilots. New types, I think, are like enhanced human beings. In fact, let me pause and find out. Alright, so let's learn about new types. So it's a person that's reached a new stage of human evolution in the Gundam universe, basically adapting to life in space and heightened mental awareness. That is what a new type is. Okay, back to this Zeong thing. So this thing can communicate with those people better, but also there would be 2 cockpits, one in the torso, one in the head, and normal human beings. 2 normal humans could pilot this, or 1 new type human could pilot it. Alright, so that's what I learned about this guy here. So they're the cannons, and the head can be a shuttle pod, so an escape pod. And so that's an interesting feature, I think. Okay, I don't have the packaging, of course. And I think this came from something called the Plus 03 set. So this Zeong came with the normal Gundam, and they're the ones that battled in the cartoon series. And I just bought it loose again, so I just bought the Zeong. I don't really care about the Gundam this thing fought. Maybe later I'll get it. I don't know why the stand doesn't want to come out. It's a ball peg, I see. So it allows... I see, so that's smart, but it's a really tight fit. I guess I can't get it out, so I'm just going to show you the base of this thing through this. So there's a lot of thrusters there. Hopefully you can see. A lot of thrusters. It's a metallic paint finish in there. I can't even say what color that is. It's not just gray. I feel like there's a hint of green or some sort of... Yeah, I kind of feel like there's a hint of green. Green gunmetallic, I suppose. Anyways, you saw that it pegs into the bottom here. Alright, so it's nice that it has that ball peg, because then you can pose it this way or that way or whatever. But man, you might have to glue that in place. Alright, let's continue on. I guess we'll continue on without the bottom. So now I'm wondering, does the head actually deploy? And it looks like there's a ball peg up there, like an action figure. So this is my first Converge figure that's actually built like an action figure. So you can have head tilt, front and back, left to right, and then obviously rotate it, of course. And it will pop off. So I'm gonna guess you could actually, if those balls are the same size, you could just have the head flying on its own. Alright, so we got some thrusters there, and these big antennae, and we have the mono eye. Unfortunately, the mono eye is just painted pink. It's not a crystal or anything. It's not a translucent piece. But that eye is supposed to move left and right, and then move up and down, you know, towards the back. I don't think it opens. No. Alright, so let's pop that head back on. The shoulders, yeah, ball peg system. Well, not ball peg, sorry. A peg and a round hole. And so this arm, I think I saw images where this does come off, and even has stands. But yeah, look, I'm pulling it off here. I don't know why it's taking so long. Oh, there's actually like a ledge to that. So that's interesting why they would do that. I don't know. But yeah, so these are remote controlled hands, and actually the hand and the gauntlet are separate. So this thing could be, the hands could be remote controlled by a new type pilot. Okay, so you're not going to lose that anytime easily because of that step on the peg itself. Does that rotate? No, it does not. Okay, so it's nice that the gauntlet and the hand are separate. Although it's not necessary because every side of this is identical. It's yeah, it's weird. All they need, well, I don't know, whatever. Does the torso? No, no movement there. No rotation. These are thrusters here, but no paint in them. Yeah, so it does say the chassis number, MSN02. So overall, it's pretty nice. It's definitely the largest figure I have in this Converge series so far. And just gonna make sure that's tight there. Some poster putty would help that out, or you could just glue it in place. Okay. This next one is called MSN-04. Sazabi is its, I guess, nickname. And it's also piloted by this Char Aznable person, and it was featured in Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack. Alright. So this came on later on in the history of the Gundam universes, I guess year 93. And essentially it's a pretty big Gundam unit, and it has light armor and a psycho communication system, so Char, being a new type person, can just dock directly to the thing. And it also has these funnel missiles type remote controlled missiles here that he can control because he's an enhanced human being. So I'm gonna look at this thing. This came from Special Pack 01 or SP01. There was probably a normal looking Gundam this was fighting against. Alright, so this comes with those silly foot stands, which I don't keep because they don't even tell you what it belongs to, you know? If it said SP01 Sazabi, then I would keep it. But this text is not helpful in the least, right? So poorly designed, Bandai. I don't know what you guys are thinking. It's crazy. You make such good model kits and then you do that. Anyways, the bottom of this guy, molded details, pretty weak thrusters, very weak thrusters. They're just flat, there's no depth. They could have easily molded those deeper, I think. I mean, why is it so deep down here? Alright, some black on the kneecaps here, some metallic metal, gunmetal on the back of the knee, and back here some hoses. We got some agreeably effects here on all these armor plates, some thrusters again. These thrusters are actually better than those thrusters, even though they're smaller. It's kind of strange. Alright, it's kind of it's not a matte finish, nor is it really glossy. It's kind of like a satin finish. It's in between. Alright, so we have a nice tampo print here. That must be like Char's logo or something. Maybe that's a C becoming an A? I'm not sure. I think that's a gun. A mega particle gun. And some hoses going to it. So yeah. I think the cockpit is actually inside the head of this guy instead of the torso. Okay, let's start putting this thing together. So this arm here, we have the hand is a separate piece, it seems, and that contains this looks like a SMG kind of gun, and it's a round peg hole and peg, so you can get a little bit of movement, but it will collide with the armor. And we have some black here as well, so some internal bits and some thrusters, I think, or maybe those are guns also. So that just goes in there, and you'll see the hole's at an angle. So this side here, pretty much mirrored. We have some thrusters in here, and there's a peg hole for this shield. And the back of the shield has a lot of nice details on it. I think these are 3 missiles on the shield as well, but they're not painted. But this is nice, this is more important. The black and the gold effect here on the front, very cool. And so that's obviously going to peg right into the arm. Pretty tight fit, you can just hear it. Alright. These are a little tough, these might be tougher to put on. So these are additional booster tanks, so the thing can run more fuel, and then these are remote controlled missiles. I built a high grade model kit of this model a long time ago, but I sold it off. I sold all my model kits because they're just too big, although I kind of feel like I'm going to maybe make some more again. But they take time, you know, to do them right. Alright, so I might have to glue those on after I detail this thing up, but it looks like some more thrusters, maybe some thrusters there, or not. Maybe those are exhaust for the those remote controlled missiles to come out of. Where's the head for this guy? Alright. So we have, I think it's just green paint, sadly. Let me get a light, a flashlight. Yeah, that's just a flat surface painted green. Sadly, it's not a clear piece of plastic for the eye. You would think for a special pack they would go the extra mile, but no. And then, yeah, just some that same color right there. And the eye is quite recessed. I have a suspicion you can spin it, but I don't know how. Can you just jam? No, that doesn't want to go. This is a separate piece. I already crazy glued it on because I was afraid to lose it. These antennae there. And then this is bent. You can put it in hot water and bend it back. I'll do that later. So sadly, the head is a square peg. I don't know why they made that decision. Because I don't think the head would collide with anything, right? It's, well, maybe it would collide with the shoulders. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I think I'd rather still have it be round and get at least 2 degrees of, you know, looking left or right. Alright. Well, anyways, that's that guy. Pretty neat. Pretty cool design. Alright, this last one I believe is from Special Pack 02, SP02, and this is called the Sinanju, and it's supposed to have a gloss finish. So I just assumed, being a red and Bosch-looking vehicle, this would be piloted by Char Aznavour as well, but it's not. According to this website, it was featured in the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn novel, which later became its own movie, which also was a TV show. And then it was piloted by some person named Full Frontal, which is a joke in the making if I've ever thought of it. And so it's a big Gundam again. 60 tons, 23 meters, and it's basically the flagship, but it's kind of an experimental, custom new type use high mobility mobile suit. Alright, so that's what we learned about that. Alright, so it has these goofy leg stand things. Trash. So let's build this up from the bottom. Bottom foot details are okay. This was bought used, so I don't know, there's a lot of weird dust and residue. I already took Q-tips and ran over it, but still pretty dirty. So we got some nice silver paint for all these little thrusters on the legs. And then we have a really cool, like, old medieval look to it. You know, it's this black with this gold filigree, so it's really neat. Okay, some gunmetal in the knee joints there. The legs don't move at all. Nor does the torso, I think. No, it does not. There's then flat gray tubes running from the front to the back. And then, yeah, the neck is this dark gray. Alright, so the head itself has some tubes on the bottom. It's unfortunately not a round peg, so it's not meant to spin. You got these cool eyes, but almost no paint effects. It's just black. It's weak. I don't know, I kind of assumed it would be pink or something, but nope. So that just goes in. Yeah, I guess it, well, I do feel like they could have designed it so it could rotate a few degrees, like there and there. But no, they force you to have it just stuck in that one position. So this head thing, now this is a separate piece. I think the previous owner glued it in place, and that just pops over this. So there we go. So this arm here, yeah, we got more of that black and gold filigree. This crazy complex looking beam rifle with what looks like a grenade launcher underneath it. And then we have some more color on this side and here. It tells you what side it belongs on, the right side. Alright, and it's got some spikes here, and I think 2 little engine thrusters in the shoulder. Alright. Now this side, instead of the gun, also these hands are separate. They should be able to spin. That one's stuck, but that one, I don't know if that's glued in place either. The shield does come off, and it's got a separate piece for the inside. I think that might be a weapon as well. Look at that printing, really cool. Alright. So then it also has booster tanks, so it can run in space a lot longer. And the backpack has these thrusters on it that look like wings. Yeah. And the little thrusters down in there in the middle. Where's the peg things? Alright, so I gotta get this. Maybe it's the other side. No, I don't think so. Oh, this also fell out. So these are definitely gonna have to get glued in place after I do some detailed paint work on this. Yeah, they don't want to stay in there at all. Just the pegs are just too short. Yeah, something's off with that. They're not level, right? Well, alright, for this video we'll just continue on. I shall have to adjust that later. Alright, so that's what he looks like. I don't know why I keep calling these he's. They're robot suits, they're not people. And I don't know if this full frontal is a guy or a girl. Let's reset. Alright, well, it's quite interesting. This plus 03 one, this Zeong, has the best articulation I've seen so to date with the two ball joints and stuff for the stand and the head. It's just so much better to be able to pose with a ball peg system, right? See? But I don't know why they skipped even just a round post for the heads of these guys. It's kind of weak. And then I'm also not sure why these 2-packs, these special packs, cost so much money. They cost like magnitudes more than just buying 2 individual Converge figures. The Converge figures are supposed to be around $5 or $6 at retail. But if you get one of these special packs, they're always like $15 to $30 to $60 or something. So even the original manufacturer's suggested retail price. So it's kind of hyped up. So I'm really fortunate that I was actually able to get all 3 of these individually because I didn't really care about the other robot, you know? So I lucked out. But you can see this one isn't really glossy. It's been sitting out in a display cabinet for so long, the dust has like penetrated the clear coat or something. It will never be glossy again unless I take a spray paint to it. Alright, well anyways, for me today, I think I actually like this goofy looking Zeong the most because of its posability and its quite interesting goofy styling. I think this is the most advanced styling for sure, but it's a little bit too busy. It's almost too much. This is kind of, well, this is definitely pretty technical as well, but alright. Well, anyways, I will continue to get some more Gundam Converges, so hopefully you'll check those out when those videos post up. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you around.